My name is Nicole, and I'm from AIM Social Media Marketing. And today, if you're watching on Rustic Media's Facebook page, we have taken over his page to interview to interview Jackie Regan.
Right.
There we go. If you are not aware, we are doing a conference on June 14th. It's called Momentum. So it's a one-day conference, and we have 8 different speakers coming in and talking about all different aspects of your business. So to lead up to the event, we wanted to each week interview one of the speakers.
Thank you for having me, and I'm really looking forward to this event. Sounds like you've got a great lineup with the group. Yeah.
So can you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm actually a transplant. I was born in London, but we moved here 33 years ago, quite a while ago, raised our kids here. It's been a great place to both raise kids as well as have a family. And a lot of people think those two things can't coexist. And we know here in Windsor they can. Absolutely. We've got such great support services. So I'm involved in Dale Carnegie training, and years ago, while I was still in London, I took the Dale Carnegie course, much against my will, because I didn't think I needed it. My husband had just taken the course prior to us getting married, and he would say, "Oh, you should take this program, you should take this program." And you know what it's like when you get people evangelizing to you. Yeah. So, because we had just recently been married, and when you're first married, you don't really know what the other person's going to say if you say no. So I thought, okay. And then here, I was already doing some media work. I was doing the weekend weather with a CFPL, with a CBC affiliate in London. I was the head of the women's physical program at the Bob Hewitt Y. I was doing some other training work on the weekend. I was the oldest of 5 kids, so hey, I know how to deal with people. I know how to communicate. It was really interesting. I remember being in the first session. You attended one of our orientations, so you know what people are like when they come in the room. They don't know quite what's going to happen. That's true of many of us when we first go in, no matter how much confidence we have. Absolutely. And I remember sitting in the back row, and as I got up to speak, and I was one of the last people up, because you volunteer. Nobody is asked to do anything they don't want to do. And someone actually asked me, they looked me in the eye and said, "Why are you here? We see you on the weekends on the weather. We know who you are. Most of us can't stand up and say our names without our knees knocking together, or your heart beating just a little bit faster, or your palms sweating." And all of a sudden it came out, because I want to feel as confident on the inside as I look on the outside. And it wasn't until someone had asked me that I really realized that I could have used just a little bit more confidence. And it's been extremely helpful to me over the 36 years we've been married, raising our 4 kids here in Windsor area, and in dealing with different businesses. When I first started to work with Dale Carnegie, and we work with all kinds of organizations. As you know, we have a lot of manufacturing in the area. Much of it, at that time anyways, was male-dominated. And I'm 5'4". I'm about 110 pounds soaking wet. And I have blonde hair. So, walking in and establishing credibility meant that I couldn't push my way through. And I think a lot of people, when they first come in and they want to feel confident or appear confident, sometimes try too hard. And so one of the things the Dale Carnegie course did for me personally, because it's different for everybody, is to help me feel more comfortable in my own skin. When we say confidence, really what we're talking about is being authentic. Absolutely. Being who you truly are and being comfortable, that's good enough for people. Yeah, so that's what we do. We have a range of programs. I get a chance to work with not just companies in the area, but individuals who are in transition. I'm also a live online master trainer for Dale Carnegie Digital. Just got off a session this afternoon with the U.S. Census Bureau. They've got a census coming up in 2020, and the session was about disagreeing agreeably. There you go. Having the right tools to get along, to manage your resources appropriately. I deal with the U.S. Patent and Trade Office. We deal with SAP, a number of companies across the globe, because just as they have a global footprint, we do as well. And that additional piece has been helpful, especially when we've got locations that are further away. You don't have the travel times, you don't have the cost of putting people up. So it's been a great journey so far, and I'm still looking forward to a few more years.
Absolutely. Well, that's fantastic. So I guess you explained how you got started. Can you tell everybody what it is that you're going to talk about for the conference?
Well, we're focused, of course, on entrepreneurs, and the title of the session is Momentum. And regardless of the point in your career where you're at, I think we always have to keep reinventing ourselves. Companies that have been around for a long time, such as, for instance, Valiant, when Mike Sold started the company, it was a couple of man tool shop. Now they've got 35 locations globally, were just sold last year, and the company has to evolve in terms of a culture. I was just on a call yesterday with a multinational from London, headquartered in London, and we were talking to them about the fact that they're still privately owned, but what they've had to do over the years is evolve the culture such that they can scale the operation. Another example locally here in town, Mark Goggin started Conquer Mold with two men in 1994. In fact, he still has the original lathe that he started. If you walk into their company in the Silver Creek area, you can still see the original lathe. Mark now has since retired, although he's still there once in a while, but he's built a second and third tier of people that he's comfortable and confident that can carry the business to the next level. And of course, they have locations in other countries as well. So regardless of what point you're at with your career, whether you're a startup or whether you're moving into succession planning such that your business still operates, it's important to always look at what that next step is. In fact, in our leadership training for managers, we talk about the fact that if you are not preparing, if you don't have 3 people at least around you who could at some point step into your shoes, even if it's for part of your operation, then you're not doing the job. Too many entrepreneurs hoard the information. They really feel nobody else can do it the way they want to. And while that may be true, it's also possible that there are people who could do it better than you or differently than you. And so we work with people who sometimes don't necessarily see themselves as leaders in any other respect. And they have a difficult time moving from the doing to the leading. And unless you want to wake up and have your customers wake up one day to find that suddenly you disappeared off the face of the earth, or you decided to go live in Bora Bora, unless you are not prepared for that day, you're not doing your job. We do our customers and we do our employees a disservice if we're not preparing to hand that over. Besides, think of all of the things you do that you get a charge of, that you're excited about.
Absolutely.
Why are you robbing the people around you of a chance to have that same sense of accomplishment?
Absolutely.
Do you remember the first time you ran a successful social media campaign?
Oh, yes. It was fantastic.
Wouldn't you like other people to have that feeling too?
Of course. Absolutely.
And I know you've got a team of people that you're working with, and you're gradually training them to encompass the same type of skill set that you do. That's the excitement of being an entrepreneur. It's not the churn of business. It's the development of something that can have legs long after you decided to go live in Bora Bora.
Absolutely.
So that's the type of thing we do. And there might be things that might be included in that are things such as communication skills. You know, some people are more comfortable dealing with conflict, and some people are not. So we help people get more comfortable in that vein. And it's not about changing your personality, who you are. It's just really about having a few more tools so that you can get to the end of a conversation without feeling like you've lost part of yourself. Again, that's not being authentic. So we want to help entrepreneurs get to that point. We want to help people have stronger human relation skills. Now, some bills that have came out recently, such as 168, I believe it was, really changed what a hostile workplace was. And so people are much more upfront about what they want out of a workplace. They're going to challenge you in terms of authority. Are you prepared to ride that wave? Are you prepared to take that piece of advice? Are you prepared to make sure that you have an inclusive workforce where people feel comfortable bringing you their ideas? Because if you don't, if you shut them down, they're going to find another place to work.
Absolutely.
And retention is a huge issue with many of the companies that are in the Windsor, Essex area. Finding the right people for the right spot and keeping them without having to pilfer them.
Yes.
That doesn't go over. This is such a small community. The wonderful thing is I get to work with a lot of, for instance, the agribusiness, nature, fresh leaves, herb produce, all of those. And you'd be amazed at how many of them actually work behind the scenes together to fulfill orders when one or the other might be running short. It's truly impressive. I think people would be impressed if they knew what type of cooperation goes on here. I've also seen the same thing happen with our tool shops. Someone who might be running short of resources. How that happens, and it's the cooperation, I think, in Windsor, Essex that entrepreneurs get with each other that makes it unique. I've worked in other areas of the province. I've traveled to different locations as part of Dale Carnegie's global team, and there are very few places where you'll find that type of cooperation, which is one of the reasons I'm really glad to see you bringing together people so that they can get that in one place on June 14th.
Yeah. No, that's the mindset. Both Restec Media and us at AIM, we both work together, and we don't compete. It makes more sense to work together and work as a team. And sometimes we pick up the slack for the other person when we can, and that's what makes
it's the right thing to do.
Absolutely, and that's what makes it successful. The conference and our businesses and everything like that. It's nice to have people that you can work with and depend on, and
sure,
it makes it, as entrepreneurs, it makes it way less lonely than working on our own, right? And
it does, and you never know, but that someone who might have been a competitor at one point in time, suddenly you find yourself working with them on something. And so it's not only the right thing to do morally, but from a business sense. And I don't know that people always put that together. That if you follow your integrity GPS, so to speak, that if you're doing things for the right reason, in the right place, with the right people, eventually, in the long run, you can't go wrong.
Absolutely. Definitely agree. Okay, so if you are looking for more information on Momentum, we are actually going to, right now, we're going to do this live. We're going to post the Facebook event on Facebook, and we'll do that. And additionally, the mindset, for those of you who missed last week's video, Momentum, the whole mindset that we'd like to use is, if you were an entrepreneur, as a business owner, if you could sit down with local experts in different areas of your business and ask them, where do I start? What do I do? That sort of concept, that's what we would like to offer to people, because I know when I started out, if I could have sat down with everybody and said, okay, what do I do before I mess something up? It would have helped. So we want to be able to provide that to other people, and so it'll be really exciting. Sales have finally started coming in for tickets, which is really cool. So for those of you who bought a ticket, we will see you on June 14th. It is on a Thursday. It's from 9 to 4. Registration starts at 8:15 because the first speaker starts at 9 promptly, and it's at the WFCU Center. And all that information will be on the Facebook event, which is going to go live in just a minute. Other than that, thank you so much for coming.
Oh, you're welcome. My privilege. I'm really looking forward to this. We'll see everybody June 14th.
Absolutely. All right, you guys have a fantastic Thursday.
Bye-bye.